Hello and welcome to another episode of this podcast. And this is my attempt at a solo episode, and it is the second iteration. The first one didn't have any video on it, but this one does. So if you haven't noticed by now, I got a new mic. Oh, it's the Mauno A013. Yeah, it's sponsored, guys. बहुत पैसा मिला है मुझे. कुछ नहीं मिला भाई. So yeah, that's why I'm trying to do solo episodes because first of all, I got a mic. Let's put it to use, right? No, I got it for this podcast only because now I'm planning to do a bit some physical podcasts. Now that I can go out and do stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to bring out more guests and I'm also trying to pivot this podcast direction a bit because again it's still in the experimentation phase. So I'm trying to get more intellectual guests. Maybe we discuss academics. Maybe I discuss what I study in my college because to be fair, to learn stuff, I think I have to do that only because apparently what they teach in my college is very interesting given that I study, but since it's online and most of my teachers, like not exactly most, some of them are just doing it because like I have my term and examinations in what 7 days, and again I'm recording this podcast. Wow. But there was a subject philosophy. So philosophy and I, we have we share a connection. So at the start of the lockdown, through the lockdown I discovered through a lot of philosophy. I really like philosophy per se, but when I entered college and I had this teacher, so the teacher seems nice. I'm not gonna lie. He seems nice. I guess he'd do better in an offline environment, but I don't think he did well in an online environment. And also, it was a fact that it was my first year of college, and I got a bit lazy. I'm not gonna lie. So it's almost equal parts, but there are some teachers that kept me hooked, but this teacher did not. So I bunked a lot of its classes. I was sitting through them, but I wasn't actually learning something. And now when I try to study his work, so what I do observe is that his PPTs, they are quite interesting. And also, one of my friends told me that the readings, the dreaded readings, which are like 200 pages, but they are actually interesting to read. So that begs a question: what this teacher did, he just he's some kind of ruined philosophy for me. Not exactly the subject, but yeah, this course. So I want to get better at it. So I may read more philosophy after this after these exams, because right now my only goal is to get through them. But yeah, I like philosophy because I don't know. I don't have a because. After you start learning, not exactly learning it, after you start knowing it, because I was going through the PPTs, his PPTs today, and what I found was that it goes into the deepest level of thought. It challenges a lot of it. I like there's this thing called epistemology. Epistemology is basically the study of how things work. Basically, if you know how to play chess, if you know how to swim, so basically that's epistemology of chess, epistemology of swimming. So yeah, and that goes basically into the depths of thought, because like each couple of after each couple of slides you'll find yourself challenging your beliefs, your doubts, and it also addresses all of things: thoughts, beliefs, knowledge. What is the difference? It's such trip stuff to learn about. I wish I had looked at the PPTs myself, but he sent them later to us, guys. I mean, I don't think we had them till like 2 months or what. Obviously, because we weren't done with his course, so he obviously sent it at his own pace. But I think that week wise PPTs would have been better. So let's see. I'm gonna learn more of philosophy course or not. Uh, because I really enjoy the subject. Okay, so this podcast is it's going to be something like an year rewind because I think 2020 was a very unusual year for all of us. People say that it's the worst year and all of it. Okay, I'd maybe agree that it's socially the worst year, but some people like just take it to the personal level and they're like, "Oh my God, I hate this year so much. It was my worst year of all time." And I was like, "Okay, it was not a good year, like not the best year for me." But it was unusual. I won't say it was bad, right? For me at least it wasn't. No offense to anyone for whom it was, but for me it was not bad. It was unusual, and for most of the and for everyone it was unusual, but for most people it was not bad, just unusual. Because like just unusual. And this is something that I've learned recently, that we as humans don't deal with unfamiliarity well. We don't deal with unknown objects well. We don't deal with unknown situations well. So that's why maybe it's people are taking it as bad, but I'd say it's very unusual. And I did embrace a lot of it. uh, a lot of 2020 I did embrace, and I am like, okay, it's unusual, I get it, but what can you make out of it? What can you learn out of it? So right now, whatever you're like the mic you're listening to this on, laptops on which it's going to get edited, the phone on which it's gonna be shot, the tripod on which the phone is mounted, the light that is upon me, all of it are purchases that I made in 2020. And like, it's not purchase centering, it's something that I learned. Like all of this stuff, it gives me an opportunity. It is something that 2020 gave me. Like, obviously my parents paid for it, but it's something that this year gave. Like, these are tools that 2020 mm, gave me access to. So for the laptop, all the video editing that I do, all my productivity stuff, this is that mostly accelerated in 2020. um, the phone which I got, obviously I was some sort of a tech geek, but I particularly picked this phone for various stuff, for shooting videos, for good photos, and a lot of other things which I can explain later. So that is a newly found hobby or passion, whatever can say, of 2020. The mic, obviously, whatever I do, and the right, obviously, the things that I do. It's better to shoot in good light, right? So that's what 2020 some sort of gave me. But in a general sense, it gave me a lot of unusual thing. It gives me a lot of unusual learnings. And if you look back in retrospect, it gave you learnings. It did give you. I'm not sure if it gave me a lot of bad experiences. I think it did, but life is all about good and bad experiences, I guess, and what you derive from them. You should derive learnings from the bad experiences, because भाई बीटी खा लोगे और फिर मतलब कुछ सीखने को भी नहीं मिला तो क्या फ़ायदा, मतलब वो वापस बीटी आ जाएगी। तो कुछ सीख लो, learn something, because the best part about worst experiences are the learning that they give. So I guess you should go by that philosophy. You should go by that set of mind when you have a bad time. And I'm not preaching positivity here, because I know no part of 2020 has been very positive, except for the COVID. Haha, bad joke. But still, I'm not preaching positivity here. What I am preaching though is maybe how to not be miserable. Yeah. So that's what I was saying. That let's learn from whatever we have experienced this year, and not just this year, every year, whatever you experience, uh, just learn from it. Because, like, again, dialing back to philosophy, so there's this thing called rationalism, which believes that reason is the priority to every knowledge, all knowledge. The priority is the reason. And the challenged belief is called empiricism, which says knowledge is the priority to all experience. Sorry, not knowledge. Experience is the priority to all knowledge. I mix that up, but yeah, uh, I don't say that which philosophy is right, But empiricism did just surprise me a bit, because if you look at it in a more general sense, whatever you experienced has taught you more than what you read. And that dials back to a question, which is about books, which says that, which is, why do you read books? You Like, people read books to get smart, me included. I have tried to, go like, okay, let me get this book and I'll be smart. But what I have realized, though, is that if you have genuine questions and you want genuine answers, and then you pick something up like a book or talk to someone, that's something that is much more profound, much more long lasting, much more probable to stay with you throughout your life, maybe. Because there were your questions, there were your doubts. मतलब, अगर मैं तुम्हें आके आज सामने से समझाने लगूं कि, okay, how does the Large Hadron Collider work? Okay, you maybe listen to me, you may be curious about it, but I don't think it will last very long for you. मतलब, ओके, तुम्हें लगेगा अच्छा सुनना है, अच्छा, ओके, इट्स नाइस, बट व्हाट विल स्टे विथ यू इज, अगर तुम्हें क्वेश्चन आ रहा है, ओके, हाउ डज अ लार्ज हैड्रॉन कोलाइडर वर्क्स, तब तुम जाओगे, तब तुम गूगल पे जाओगे, तब तुम मुझसे पूछोगे, किसी से भी पूछोगे, मतलब मुझे तो नहीं पता, बट किसी से भी जाके तुम पूछोगे और तुम जेन्युइनली उस चीज़ में इंटरेस्टेड होगे. So that's how things should work. That's how your genuine questions should be answered. And again, experience, rationalism, empiricism. Again, it's it's something like a revision for me, guys. So एग्जाम के लिए रिवाइज कर रहा हूँ, सो पॉडकास्ट बना रहा हूँ, सुन लो इफ़ यू लाइक इट. तो मतलब देखो, इफ़ यू लिसनिंग टू लियर, तो थोड़ा सा अच्छा लग रहा होगा, मतलब 12 मिनट होने वाले हैं. तो जो भी यार, लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब सब कर दो, अगर ये अपलोड कर रहा हूँ मैं तब, मतलब कर ही देना, इतनी मेहनत कर रहे हो तो. Now, okay, so let's get to the rewind stuff. Okay, let's start with January. What happened in January? Okay, so what I was doing in January, I was leading a pretty normal life, but I was kind of miserable, not gonna lie. I was like, in early Jan, I had my JEE mains examination, my engineering examinations, and so I fucked them up. I fucked them up pretty bad, because माय स्कूल गिव मी एंग्जायटी कि तुम्हें अपनी प्रैक्टिकल फाइल 6 जैन के पहले, सब 6 जैन को सबमिट करनी है. ओके, हाँ, 6 जैन को सबमिट करनी है तुम्हें अपनी प्रैक्टिकल फाइल, और उसके बाद हम तुम्हारी प्रैक्टिकल फाइल लेंगे नहीं, जो कि एकदम सरासर झूठ था. क्योंकि भाई, मैंने देखा मेरे लैब में सामने मेरे भाई लड़कों के पेपर चेक हो, आई मीन पेपर नहीं, वो जर्नल चेक कर रहे थे. सर, हद हो गई यार, हमारे साथ तो नाइंसाफ़ी हो गई. अब हम बैठ के लिख रहे हैं 5 तारीख तक, 6 तारीख को सबमिट, भाई स्कूल गए सबमिट करने 5 तारीख को, 6 तारीख को पेपर है, 6 को था ना? हाँ, 6 को पेपर था. भाई 6 को पेपर खराब करके आए, और अब 6 को पेपर के लिए हमने पता है ढंग से पढ़ा भी नहीं था. आई डिडंट इवन स्टडी फॉर दैट पेपर. It was an architecture का पेपर. And then I went to ninth to give the main paper. And मतलब सीन ऐसा था कि मेरा जो मैं पेपर टू, सो इट वाज कॉल्ड पेपर टू, मतलब पहले हुआ, बट इट वाज कॉल्ड पेपर टू, BR. I scored a better percentile than the exam I prepared for. Wow, I like 2 साल तो भाई क्या ही किया अपन ने कोचिंग में यार, मतलब चलो, let's put that back. So January was pretty much summed up that, like, I just gave my JEE mains. Jesse, I was done with them. Done with them, I got home. I went out with my friends. I enjoyed all that I could, and then went out for a trip for 4 days. And when I returned, I returned at like 8 p.m. in the night, and the next day I had my computer board examination का practical. वो उससे फिर प्रैक्टिकल्स ही स्टार्ट होने वाले थे 1 हफ्ते के, बट स्टिल आई वाज़ लाइक, मैं जा रहा हूँ और मैं आके अपना प्रैक्टिकल दूँगा. मैं छुट्टी से जैसे ही आया ना, आई वाज़ प्रैक्टिकल द नेक्स्ट डे. तो या, सो जनवरी वेंट अप प्रीटी मच लाइक दैट. एंड आफ्टर, आई गॉट टू नो कि भाई जेईई में तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. एंड देन प्रैक्टिकल्स हो गए थे. एंड जैसे ही प्रैक्टिकल्स खत्म हुए, आई वाज़ लाइक, बेटा बोर्ड्स है, जो करना है इसमें कर सकते हैं. एंड भाई, फेब और मार्च जो पढ़ा हूँ ना मैं, मतलब फेब पूरा ही भाई, मतलब मैं ऑलमोस्ट जनवरी और फेब्रुअरी और मार्च मैंने इतनी अच्छे से पढ़ाई करी है. एंड माय बोर्ड्स वेंट प्रीटी वेल. मतलब आई वाज लाइक डूइंग 14 आवर्स अ डे. आई वाज लाइक सिटिंग 14 आवर्स अ डे, and studying, just studying. I remember like 8-10 रजिस्टर भर, मतलब मैंने जितना लिखा है ना 2020 के फर्स्ट हाफ में, सेकंड हाफ में मतलब मैंने एक रजिस्टर नहीं भरा होगा। लिटरली मेरा 6 महीने कॉलेज बीत गया, मैंने एक पेज के नोट्स नहीं बनाए, हद हो गई। और मतलब उसके पहले के नोट्स दिखाऊँगा तो भाई कितने सारे नोट्स थे। मतलब इतने सारे नोट्स 10 नहीं 10 रजिस्टर भर गए थे 300 पेज के वाले, सिर्फ नोट्स के और एक्सरसाइजेस के। मतलब तो इतना किया ना अपन ने। फिर बोर्ड्स खत्म हुए एंड देन ओके, लास्ट बोर्ड एग्जाम, कंप्यूटर का बोर्ड एग्जाम हुआ ही नहीं। ओ माय गॉड, कंप्यूटर के लिए मैंने पढ़ाई करी थी और कंप्यूटर का एग्जाम ही नहीं हुआ। हद हो गई यार। कंप्यूटर भाई, कंप्यूटर के 100 नंबर पक्के थे यार, बट चलेगा, मतलब वो सभी को मिलते हैं। बट ओके चलो छोड़ो, कंप्यूटर का एग्जाम नहीं हुआ। जैसे ही देन वो एग्जाम नहीं हुआ, नेक्स्ट डे आई प्लान्ड अ नाइट स्टे। हमने कहा इससे पहले, क्योंकि वहाँ लाइक कोरोना वायरस वेव ऑलरेडी हिट आई गेस। Then I was like, bro, कुछ करना पड़ेगा. Me and my two friends, we had a night stay. We had all the fun we could. And the next day, lockdown. And oh my God, what a journey the lockdown was. The, it was really unusual, and at some point, and at some parts of it, it was really bad. At some part of it, it gave me. So what the lockdown gave me was self discovery. I had a lot of time with myself. I had nothing to do, like except I was studying, but I was still thinking about myself. I was still thinking with myself. I was still sitting with myself. I was talking to myself, and I questioned a lot. I questioned a lot of my decisions. I questioned a lot of my life decisions. I questioned a lot of whatever I'm doing right now. So, and then I went back and forth with my subject choices. Not exactly back and forth. I was like, "Bhai, ab to bit sat nikalna," and I was like studying hard for it, but I wasn't getting any results. And I always had this nag for arts. I like my second option. Like my second option for my undergrad was BA Honors English from DU, because I know I could get a good score in boards, and that would get me to DU. And everyone was like, bro, अगर engineering नहीं तो BA Honors, मतलब what do you want to do? And my answer to them was that I want a good college. I want a good uh, college. Exactly, I want a good college. I want for even for engineering, I wanted IITs, if not IITs, and triple IITs and IITs, and at the least, I wanted bits. I won't go below bits. And yeah, DU should would have been a good university. And right now, which I'm let's talk about right now later. So yeah, that was pretty much it. So I didn't have any fascination with science, because जब साइंस ली थी मैंने तब बहुत अलग थी, जब मैं पढ़ने गया तो बहुत अलग थी, जब नंबर आया तो और भी अलग लगने लगी, कोचिंग गए और भी अलग लगने लगी, हद हो गई थी भाई। साइंस में तो 2 साल अच्छे से लिए भाई, साइंस में मजा आ गई थी। इतना इतना दर्द हो रहा था कि मजा आ रहा था। ओ माय गॉड, साइंस की 2 साल, ओके। Then I applied to NMIMS का liberal arts. I didn't think much before applying. I was just like, apply करने कर दो. And I got through their entrance test. I got through their interview round. I was like selected. I was like, okay. And when I read up the course material, like the syllabus, I really thought that was something which was for me. And this is like June or this is no, this is July. This is the later part of July. And then I got into it, and I was happy. Like, I think liberal arts was a very good decision for me, because I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, as of now, I'm not, like, I'm less clear about myself than I was like 2 months ago, and I'm happy about it, because I guess I'm more aware about things. I guess it's easier to draw conclusions about things when you're not aware. And yes, like take something like caste, maybe uh, like that. This is something I learned from one of my friends, and I thank him for him, that I didn't know much stuff about caste till he told me. And then I was studying sociology, and in that I learned a lot of stuff. So now I guess I'm more aware about things, and going forward in my life, I think uh, this is what's gonna help me because um, I don't know this. these subjects, they give me thinking models, and I guess that those are very important in anything that you do. The Those thinking models, it would be something like, what would be this thing's perspective on this, what would be this person's perspective on this, and that I guess that can give me a competitive advantage, maybe today, maybe 5 years down the line. And yeah, since I don't know what I have to do, liberal arts was a good choice for me, given that I passed my examinations. Oh my god, I'm doing this now. Wow. This is something, I don't know really. Like, I just sit down, and since now I have a mic, and I have all this equipment, which makes it much easier to, sit and record stuff. I know I may be doing this a lot in the future. I may be self-reflecting a lot, and if you like listening to this, then I'm so happy that you are staying till here. Like, it's 21 minutes now, and if you have been staying, then kudos to you, man. I know there's like two or three people only who will just sit till 21 minutes, man. I don't, I don't sit for 21 minutes unless it's like very interesting. I have like sat through lectures and stuff like on YouTube, and on stuff that I'm interested in. I've like watched a 3 hour live stream. Oh my god, the trifecta of reality, guys. So this is a recommendation from me to you. Go check out the trifecta of reality series on YouTube. So it's something like a trio. So there's this guy called Prakhar Gupta. He's a YouTuber who I watch a lot. A lot of what I think I owe to him. There's this neurologist called Siddharth Warrior. So if you have seen Tanmay Bhatt's live streams on neuroscience of stuff, so he's that guy. And then this guy called the Lightning Emperor, aka Varun Maya. So he's the founder of this virtual university called Avalon Meta, and he's one of the most successful young entrepreneurs in this country. So that conversation was a not exactly game changer, but it was something that gave me a lot of perspective. It was divided into power, poetry, physics, how all this combines with each other to form your reality. And it was really interesting, man. So you should check that out. You should check out all of their content, separately too. They make great content. And I watched a lot of YouTube this year. I watched mostly YouTube this year. I watched YouTube more than Netflix, Amazon, all of it combined. I watched more YouTube. uh, First of all, I listen to a lot of music on that, and then I do, if I do podcasts, then I listen to them a lot too. I listen to good podcasts. I usually listen to Indian podcasts only, like this podcast called PG Radio, again, Prakhar Gupta. That's what I listen to. I watch this podcast called The Ranveer Show, of this person called Beer Biceps. I highly recommend that too. Like, I have like recently I've not been watching though a lot of episodes, but I was just watching an episode uh, an hour earlier. It was with Kunal Shah. If you don't know, he's the CEO of Free Charge. He was the CEO of Free Charge before it was sold for $400 million, and he is the CEO of Cred, which is another great startup in India. And he said something like, a nation which is dwelling on its past glory is delusional about its future. And that applies to your on a personal level too. Uh, so right now I'm not going very political. I may go into and I may go political in this podcast. I want to go political in this podcast, so I may in the future, but right now I want to discuss something more deep. So yeah, so he said that, so if I convert it into a general sense, it's like, if you dwell on your past too much, you're not doing any if you dwell upon your past too much, you're not currently doing in the anything in the present, and you're delusional about your future. So yeah, that's what I guess 2020 is very symbolic of that. I have seen people who just like, who are like just cribbing about, oh my god, I used to go to clubs and I used to travel and all of that shit, but they aren't doing anything at home. And so just let's just build up a story, okay? So pre-COVID, okay, you were traveling a lot, you were doing anything everything you wanted, and all of that was going around. And then came COVID, okay? You weren't doing anything, you're just sitting at home, okay? You aren't doing anything, you aren't figuring out how to be more productive for these 2 months or anything like that. You aren't doing any of that shit, and after COVID is gone, guess what? You have no money, you have nothing to travel, you have nothing to do. You're just stuck in this loop of laziness, and you're just dwelling upon, okay, I used to go. You're just dwelling upon your past and you're doing nothing. So yeah, it's something like this now. So that's what 2020 taught us. And so, like, I and also people have very high expectations from 2021. They're like, by past, and like they're like 2020, 2020, 2020. Guess what? 2020 will come and all will stay the same because time is a social construct. Oh my god, time is a social construct. Yeah, like this is something that I heard in a Bollywood movie called Dil Dhadakne Do. Ki for us humans, there is the measure of time. For us humans, it's something that time is passing, or we have the concept of hours, minutes, days. But for animals, there isn't. And I wonder how the world without time look. Where you have no deadlines, where you have no dates, where you have not, you just have no concept of time. And if you have no concept of time, do you think you'll have a concept of space? You are certainly they're about different entities, but on some level they are interdependent. Obviously, because if you travel through space fast, you travel through time slow. And if you travel slowly through time, as in, um, I mean, if you take more time, uh, how do I, if you reduce your speed too much, then it will take you a lot of time to cover a small amount of space. I mean, like if I have to run a 1 kilometer, uh, I have to run a 1 kilometer race, and I'm very slow at it. So obviously, it will take me much more time to cover it. So I'll be traveling through time very slowly. Not exactly. I'm traveling not through time. I'm traveling. Uh, how do I articulate this? I'm not traveling through time. I'm traveling with time, maybe. So I'm traveling very slowly with respect to time. Time is passing with the same speed because obviously I don't know the exact speed of it, but still it's doing its regular motion. And again, the regular motion, it's just, again, it's like, so yeah, we can easily prove it's kind of a social construct, because obviously you're traveling through time, but you're traveling very slowly in relation to others who are like you. We humans, we have this maybe uh, universally accepted kind of uh, pace, that okay, you just travel with time with this pace, and you're normal. Anyone who travels faster than that, that's Usain Bolt, that's a very fast runner or anything. Anyone travels below that speed, they are just turtles, they're very slow. But imagine no humans around you. Imagine that you're the only human. This is an absolute kind of reality, and in which no matter how slow you go, you'll never be slow per se, you'll never be fast per se. And no matter how fast you go, you'll never be fast enough. Like, you can't measure fast and slow then. With respect, just with respect to yourself. And maybe we have aliens who are traveling through time, but they are not, but they don't get that they're traveling through time, because they're not in their reality. There isn't any concept of slower speeds. Maybe we are traveling very fast in time for a snail. because their reality doesn't consist of speeds that fast. So that's how you prove time is a social construct. I don't know if I just bullshitted for 5 to 10 minutes straight. If I did, please, a physics purist, please clear me. Please, first of all, it's like, I'm sorry if I'm like doing too much, because it's my first time. I will improve over time. So give me some time, but let me know if you're liking this, because I just went on a lot of tangents. I was just talking about how this year is taught me, and now I'm just talking about how time is a social construct. Wow, wow. No, I was talking about my course. I was talking about arts, and now I'm into physics. Oh, this was uh very enjoyable for me. I really liked. I don't know how right I am. Okay, I don't care how right I am. I just enjoyed thinking out loud, because that's what I did right here. I just thought out loud in front of you. I just all of the thinking I did was right now. I didn't plan anything for this, or I don't have any notes, or I'm just talking. So it's like 32 minutes, 31 minutes now. And what's the time? Dude, it's 12:46. I have to study for my exams. Like, now I have to make my bed. My bed is not made. I have to make that, and then I have to sleep. But I think I thought a lot for today, guys. And obviously 32 minute हो गया है, but I don't think anyone has stayed till now. बहुत कम लोग होंगे. If you stayed till now, okay, so you should comment this. Um, comment time is a social construct. No, wait. This is yeah. Comment time is a social construct. Just these 5 words. And if you're staying till here, like, share, subscribe, follow, जो भी है, जहाँ भी है कर दो. And I'll see you in the next one.